What is up, gaming guys and gals? This is Dan the Old Man, Team 520, Sierra Vista. I told you we were back. I told you I wanted to do some deck profiles. I've got some Final Fantasy stuff coming up. But here right now I've been kind of toying around. I got two of the intro decks for Argent Saga. I got the Water and the Dark. And so both decks are good. Both are kind of control-y. And I just wanted to kind of do a combo of the both of them. Kind of do a dual colored. There'll probably be some changes to it once I buy the booster box on Sunday. So we'll do an updated deck profile. So this is a Water Dark Jemial 1.0. Let's call it that. So of course, my champion is Jemial, Cryptic Caster. You place one counter on this card for each water unit that comes into play on your field, and then you remove 3 counters from this card, draw 2 cards, and discard 1 card. So he's great for draw power. He's doing what water does really well in this deck. The spirit I'm using is Luna, the Dark Spirit. The reason I'm using this spirit, what I like about this spirit, is when you destroy a tower unit in battle, place 1 counter on this card, and then during your turn, remove 3 counters from this card. Your opponent discards 1 card. So you're getting some hand control in this, and there's a lot of blue cards that will put units back into your opponent's hand, and then you can rip them out of the hand with this card and make them put them in the discard zone. And then you can, during your turn, you can Soul Burst. You flip it upside down, for those of you who don't know what Soul Burst is. And then during your turn, you can Soul Burst and your opponent discards 1 card. So it's another discard for the deck. So more hand control. Okay, so now we're going to get into the blue spells. So we're doing 3 of the Azure Seer. She's really good. She's a 1-drop 1000. I like her because her arrive for you Magic players. She comes out and you scry 1. You look at the top card of your deck and place it back at the top or bottom of your deck. And then with all the draw power in this, you can scry, and then you can use your champion to draw a card, such like that. So she's a really good card. And then we're gonna have 3 of the Azur Guardian. So it's a 2-drop, 2000. He's got Guardian. It can't attack, but it's a 2000. It's a 2000 blocker. What I really do like about this game, they even instituted the flavor text. The Tower of Water is a living ocean with monsters to protect its lurking inside. So it's that's a good really good Guardian. We got 3 Stormfish. This card is really good because you block with it and you return target unit to its owner's hand. So if they're swinging early and they swing with 1000, you block with this, destroy what you're blocking, and then return something bigger to the owner's hand to make them cast it again, or maybe make them discard it with this card or a couple of the other black cards we have in here. Then we have 3 of the Great Stormfish. It's a 3-drop 1500. It's when it arrives, you exhaust the unit, and then when it gets ruined, you return target unit to the top of its owner's deck. So really good ability. Instead of putting it back into their hand, you're putting it at the top of their deck, and then they draw it, and then you make them discard it again. So another great synergy. And then we've got 3 of the Mayu's Assistant. Mayu's Assistant is just a staple for water. Your water spells cost 1 less to play. So there's essentially, if you've got a 1-cost water spell, you're playing it for free. It's a great card. You want to keep this on the field. You want to fight to try to protect it. And then we got 2 Akuma Storm Knight. Its arrive is if you have more destroyed towers than your opponent, return target unit to the top or bottom of its owner's deck. So like if they have a destroyer or something big, you can put it at the bottom of the deck. Or a legend, say they put one of the legendary cards out, you can return it to the bottom of their deck, kind of ensure that they're probably not going to see it for the rest of the game. So really good ability, especially if you're behind. Then we are running 2 of the Akuma Silencer. So what Akuma Silencer does, he's a 4-drop, 2500. You can shard drain 1, which is where you take a shard unit and put it to the bottom of your shard deck, and target unit or augment loses all abilities this turn. So if there's a unit, say, that has the ability to destroy something on your side of the field, you can shard drain this thing at instant speed and it loses its ability. So it's a good card. We're running 3 of the Akuma Mismatch. I really like this card. 5-drop, 3000. To arrive, when it comes onto the field, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 2 of those cards to your hand, and send the other cards to your discard. The other card to your discard zone. So, I mean, really, it's a draw 2. I mean, great card. This deck has so many ways to keep your hand full, while you are also getting rid of your opponent's hand. So it's absolutely amazing. We're playing 1, and there's only 1 because that's all that came in the intro deck. I am going to get another one, but it's a Stormcaster of Azure Tower. It's a destroyer, which means it attacks 2 towers, and then in its arrive, if there is this destroyed water tower, return up to 2 target units your opponent controls to the bottom of their owner's deck in any order. So if there is a destroyed water tower on either side of the field, either your side of the field or your opponent's side of the field, this thing kicks. So you can see why I want to get a couple more of it. It's a really good card. I think I'll run it at 2, but a really good card. Now we're going to go to the black units. So we're going to start out. We're running 3 of the Golem of Debarment. It is a 2-drop 1000. It's got Guardian. It cannot deal damage, but you put when it's ruined, you put a Golem of Debarment from your deck into play. So you just kind of keep resources on the field. So it does well as a blocker, and it will replace itself when it comes out. We've got 2 of the Golem of Vengeance. Golem of Vengeance is 6-drop 4000. He's got Destroyer, which means, again, he attacks 2 towers when he attacks a tower. And then you look at your opponent's hand and select 1 card. Then your opponent discards that card. If you control 2 or more Golem units, 2 or more other Golem units, select 2 cards instead. With this deck, the way it's built right now, there might be some different black cards that go in here. But it's selective, being able to get a selective discard. So I'm really the 1 at a time. It's not going to pull off the 2, obviously, because, well, it could pull off the 2 if you have 2 of your Golem of Debarments on board. So if you're able to get that off, then it's just a bonus. Now we're going to go with the blue spells. We've got 3 of the Phantasmal Guards. So I really like this. It's a 1-drop, so if you have the May Use Assistant on board, it's essentially free. 1-drop, you put 2 illusion unit tokens into play with Guardian. They're unit illusion water, 500. They can't attack, but it automatically gives you 2 blockers to put in the way of your opponent's stuff. So I really enjoy that. It helps you to be able to protect things like May Use Assistant. And then we're running 3 Cryptic Deflections. So this is an instacast, which means you can play it anytime you have priority. If your champion is Jemial Cryptic Caster, which it is, you can remove 4 counters from that card instead of paying this card's cost. Target unit cannot be targeted by spells or abilities this turn. So if your opponent goes to, say, destroy your May Use Assistant or one of your other important cards, you play this card, and then all of a sudden they lose that target, and it just fizzles. We're playing 3 Shards of Winter. It's a 4-drop. It's an instant cast, and you exhaust all units your opponent controls. So if you get to that point where you've just been able to flood the board, you can push for game at that point. And then for the black spell, we are running 3 of the Dust Strike. It's an insta-cast, and you can play this card only if you control a dark unit. Target unit gets minus 2,500. So it's good removal, just to be able to help keep their board clear. Again, like I said, it's just trying to keep their board and hand clear in this deck. And then, of course, you've got your 10 shards. And then your 5 towers. So that's the deck. Like I said, the idea is to control your opponent's board in hand, kind of keep the board clear, draw a lot of cards so you get into the cards you need. I haven't had a chance to really try out the deck. Like I said, Sunday I'm buying a box, so this is just version 1.0. We will do a modified version coming up later on. I'm looking forward to doing that and showing you guys that one. But for now, I'll have a Final Fantasy deck profile coming tomorrow night. But for now, y'all have a great night. Dan the Old Man out.